So here we are. We are actually on the property with the home that we actually just purchased this year. Still lots and lots of work to do here, and lots of cleanup work, and just amazing amount of stuff left to do. But hey, that's the fun of it, isn't it? Getting it the way you want it to be done and the way you want it to look. You can see the sun's pretty shining, so hopefully the glare isn't coming through, but you can see there's a great deal of pasture area on this new property, and or as the agriculture extension agent said, lots of groceries. So we're looking forward to possibly doing some haying or fencing it off, probably both actually, and that'll just be a great asset to the farm. So here's a little gate, and we originally put this gate in, believe it or not, before we owned the property on this side, so that the neighbors could have access and we could have access to them. And so it was kind of an interesting thing that it turned out that we needed it for our own use, to be able to come from our house to the farm side. And you can see there's goats. And there are the horses. Here is our newest goat. And we're calling her MK. Her actual name is MK Superwoman. She's a beautiful black girl with gorgeous blue eyes. It's really hard to tell, but she's a sweetheart. Real friendly girl. And there's Taffy. She's a Nigerian dwarf as well. You can see it in the distance. We've got Jazzy, who is the black with moon spotted. She's blue-eyed. And Kita. They're both fat little kids right now as they've been running around, stuffing their faces. And they can still get onto all of the property. They can slip through the gate because they're still pretty small. In the distance there, you see Jack and Jill. That is Taffy's babies. Aren't they adorable? Looks like they're going to get up and say hi to Mama. Our sweet Abby girl. She's our precious little Nubian. And my sweet little angel here. Absolutely love our Abby girl. And there's Fawn. She is also a Nigerian dwarf. She's definitely one of our smaller ones. And here's Curly. You've probably seen a few pictures of Curly. He is a mix. He's a wether. And he was the one with the hurt leg, but he's doing so much better now. And here we have our newest buck. And he is Lost Valley Lines. He's just a gorgeous boy. Really bucky right now. He's figuring out he's a little boy, and he's just been showing off. And you can tell our fencing could use a little updating. We have been updating our fences from welded wire to woven wire for that reason right there. The animals certainly do damage on welded wire. We highly recommend that you, if you go out, save yourself the effort and just use the woven wire. It's just better in the long run. Over there in the distance, you can see that whitish looking goat. That's another wether we have. We've had him for a few years. And his name is Buddy. That's his job around here, to be a buddy to any lonely goats. Right now he's in with the girls. And little baby's running. And the spitting one over here showing off for the girl. That's our main buck, or at least used to be our main buck before the little Lost Valley buck, who's named Reese, came along. Yes, they're a little fussy right now. It is breeding season, so you can see he's painted himself up really nice and smells just lovely, which is not very good, really. And then the black one back here, that's one of his sons from a fawn. He's actually available. He's a very nice buck, just well built, Very sweet-natured boy. We never have any trouble with his horns. He likes to be scratched and loved on. He's a very good boy. We're hoping he does find a great home one day. Right now, he's just keeping his daddy company. We have this little cage set up here. There's actually nothing in it, but sometimes we will have to seclude something, but we want it to still be close to the action so it doesn't feel lonely. And so we kind of have this little setup here. Sometimes babies will come out here depending on the weather. Hey, buddy boy. Here are the ducks and geese doing what they do best and getting all the water sources dirty. And you can see the Sebastopol geese really have their beautiful feathers going on right now. The full feathers, they're starting to drape and curl. Yeah. They're not so sure what I'm doing, and they're not sure they're happy about it. Sebastopol geese are absolutely beautiful geese. I believe they're still considered threatened, but they have a growing popularity for their beauty, and they're good-natured. They're not mean geese. The buff goose in the front, they're also known as kind of gentle geese. We try not to have any aggressive animals on our farm. We do have our new bull, and you can tell he gets a little carried away when he's playing, and this is one of his most recent things that he's done. Absolutely snapped that post right in two. So he's been a fun thing. He's a good boy, but he definitely has a lot of strength behind him. So, and there he is right out there just enjoying the sunny day. There's our beautiful Hava girl enjoying her day. You can see one of her horns is turned. She, when the bull came, when Gaston is his name, when he came, she decided to teach him that she was boss, and she lost that little argument. And so her horn got a little tore up, but she's still beautiful in my opinion. Absolutely my sweet girl. Oh, my baby. Out here you have Heidi. Heidi is our Holstein Jersey cross. She's a really sweet, sweet girl. Very loving. The kind of girl that you can just handle. And out in the field, even milk her with very little restraint. She's just a very sweet, loving girl. And as you can tell, she says hello. Our orchard that needs a great deal of work now. Unfortunately, the animals have gotten into it and done a lot of damage. You probably see there's a gate started, and a fencing is going to be going across so that we can get that fenced off and hopefully get the orchard back where it should be next year. Here is T-Bone. His name probably says it all. He's our steer. And here is our little Covington bred girl, and her mama is Hava, and her sire was Covington Dell, I believe his name was. And she's just a pretty little girl. Love her red coloring, very delicate features. We're hoping she will stay the medium to small size. Are you coming out here with me, baby? There's a lot of ground to cover here. See this pile of dirt over here is trenches for water lines, and it's always been a big issue for the farm that we don't have water lines, so we run hoses out to the field, but we have to run we have to actually carry water to the barn, and that has been a difficult thing. So the water line's going to go down to the shed here, and then from there it will actually go to the barn, and I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a great asset. A couple of turkeys just roaming around. This is our red bourbon hen and our Narragansett hen. They're just pets. They like to hang out. Most of the barns here, the two barns I should say, are considered duplex barns, which worked wonderfully at first. It really works well for the goats, and it did well for when we had some pigs, because we could put a dividing fence down the middle and use it for both sides. The one out there where the girl goats are, that one is actually getting a little too small, so we are planning to take the center divider out and make that just one barn. You can see Abby is trying to escape. She's my little escape artist. And this barn is a shed row barn. It was the second building put up here on the property. And it's got the 2 horse stalls, and then it's got a spare stall of sorts on the end. Hi, Reese. So, pardon me, I have not scooped the stalls yet today, so they're definitely not the cleanest. This install here is set up kind of for a spare room, quarantine animal who's been hurt or sick, that they go into this room while they're getting care if they need to. And right now, the little black Nigerian dwarf girl, MK, has been staying in there at night. Hey, sweet girl. Sweet little horsey face. Oh, yeah, and at the end there is a chicken coop that was added on. It's got another little lean-to building in the back, and then a run. And of course, right now the door is open so that the chickens can just come out and scrounge and do what chickens do. Hey, baby girl. Hello, buddy. Thank you, buddy. This rather torn up little thing here was actually a movable chicken tractor at one time for a few birds. And, well, you can tell it kind of fell apart. And it's definitely on the list for next year to go ahead and finish taking it apart and going to build a better one for, hopefully, for our Ranger chickens next year. All right, and here we're back at the gate again. And that's it for now. A little tour of Rocktopia Acres, probably a little bit longer than I realized as I'm walking around here. Hopefully you could watch it all and enjoyed what you saw. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.